like I said, I just fight so I can continue doing what I want to do outside of the cage. I do plan to be more active this year since my surgeries are all done and I'm finally, healthy enough to.
Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now.
3 surgeries, Mike, in 2023. 2 on your knee, 1 on your shoulder. Man, that's some stuff to deal with, man. How has it been, man? What was 2023 like for you?
A lot of just me, a lot of me time, a lot of exploring, like what I'm doing, the healing process, of course. Um, my knee surgeries were not very bad, but my shoulder was really bad. I destroyed my AC joint, and they had pieces of the bone stuck in the joint, so they had to go in, take the pieces out of my joint, and then saw the bone down so it wasn't cracked anymore. And that took like, I want to say probably a full year before I started feeling good. Maybe a little more, maybe like a year and 2 months. It was pretty
Have
bad.
Were those injuries bothering you before, like
All the time.
in 2022?
Oh yeah. Yep, yep.
Okay.
But as a fighter, we don't really have insurance, so when we get our opportunity to fight, we just fight with injury, and that's how people do it. We use the UFC 100% coverage and get all of our stuff fixed.
Exactly, man. You're not the first one. There's been many
No,
stories of
we just do it. That's just how it is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's pretty wild, man. How were the mental battles, man? Because that's a full year that flew by, and you're sitting on the sidelines. You're sitting on a win streak as well, and off good performances, and just not fighting, man. It must have been tough because we've heard other fighters come out and say like the inactivity can be something that can be a downfall a little bit.
It is definitely a downfall for the fighter, but I don't know. Fighting, like I said it before, fighting isn't a passion of mine. Um, Training, helping people, that's something I like to do more. Teaching, coaching, doing seminars. But the fighting part is the portion that allows me to keep doing this without having to work a 9 to 5. So I have to. I have to do it. So I'm never excited or sad when when I have to fight or don't have to fight. When it comes along, it comes along. I just do what I have to do.
Yeah, you're in a different position than a lot of other fighters because they're
Well,
just like, I
a
have to
lot of other
fight.
fighters are hungry for something different. As long as I can support my family, I'm pretty content.
Nice, man. And you mentioned teaching and doing seminars, and I was watching this video, man, of you explaining how to attack the back leg, something that we don't really see too much in MMA. And how difficult is it to master a technique like that in MMA?
Attacking the back leg is ooh. Well, there's a lot of up and coming fighters nowadays that are using both stances, myself included. I fight southpaw a lot now, and yeah, when you go to attack the back leg, they'll switch stance into orthodox and or southpaw or the opposite, and then they'll be in a striking position now. So you go to kick the back leg, and they're in a different stance, throwing punches at you. So it's a little different now. It's evolving. This sport's ever forever evolving.
The streaming stuff, man. Looks like you've been keeping busy with that, doing all
Oh yeah,
kinds of,
I just bought a new PC.
stuff.
I'm excited.
You did
Yeah.
upgrading always, right?
The streaming stuff is probably something I need to dive into more. Um, Wait, who did I just see? Aiden Ross posted a video about Jinxie, I think his name is, the new up and coming streamer. He's like the most popular streamer right now. And he said that if you have a dream, go for it because if you just sit on the sideline, it's not going to happen. He streamed to one single person for an entire year straight. 365 days of one single person in his stream. And now he has 70, 80,000 people in his stream. So it's a big difference. I just got to do it. And I've been enjoying it. I really have.
Yeah, man. I see you enjoying it, man. I see the videos. See the clips. You know, what I mean, it's great that you're kind of like bringing two worlds together. There's other fighters doing it, but like you bring like the fighting world and the gaming world together. I think it's a good combination, to be honest with you.
I feel like fighters should all be gamers. Not only does it help with like hand-eye coordination and stress relief, but you just always get to have like that mind away from your business. Like, who wants to think about their business 24/7? It's gonna get old.
And stressful. What I mean? This
Super,
stressful
it's
game.
super stressful, especially if it's not going right.
And what are some other things that you're doing, man? You can tell us about.
Yeah. I do brand deals, which look what I have on my desk that I can show you. Yeah, Scuff Gaming. They make
Okay,
custom controllers. They're all just easily interchangeable.
nice.
I do brand videos for them. They pay me and give me products. So I've been doing that a lot. Trying to get in with Sony, a little harder than I thought. Um, but I'm working up there.
Yeah, man, you're building yourself. Maybe one day you'll have that PlayStation sponsorship. You know what I mean? Demetrius Johnson had it. I think he was the only one back in the day. Do you remember? He was wearing
Oh
the the,
yeah,
the green
from
shorts.
they had the Xbox sponsorship. I think
Yeah,
he was like the only person that had a gaming console or like a organization that big besides John Jones with Nike and who else had Nike? Anderson.
yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right, man. It was man.
They
I'm
got rid of
man. I'm
those.
hoping.
I wish they would bring it back. You know how
Yeah,
much money we can make by one? I can make more money than I would fighting with one sponsor. It's
I
just
know. I
crazy. It's
know.
crazy.
I know. I know, man. I know, man. It's a talking point. That we could go on for a long time. Um, Back to the fighting, though. I mean, your last fight, solid performance against Slava Claus. When you look back at it and you look at the fight, what do you remember?
I remember everything, and I remember talking to Uriah Faber during the fight because he was talking about me doing things wrong, and I was like, I'm not though. So it's kind of funny. And in the middle of the fight, I I remember that punch that broke my orbital, or like it gave me like a fracture right here, and I was so disappointed in myself in the middle of the fight. I was like, why did I not? Because I saw it coming. I had my hand up. My hand was just not high enough, just a little bit higher, because it went right over my hand and hit me in the cheekbone. I was like, damn. And I thought about it for like 30 seconds during the fight. Like, this man just hit me in my face.
Did you feel the damage instantly?
um, feel it? No, but I couldn't see. I just couldn't see. I had to close my eye.
Oh, I didn't know that. Damn.
Yeah. In the middle of,
Especially with Slava
I had to keep
Claus.
my eye closed. Yeah, I could
Yeah.
not see out of that eye.
Man. And how long did that take to heal up?
Whole fight, the whole rest of the third round.
Um, but I'm talking about the fracture on your eye or on your.
Oh, that was quick.
Okay.
That that didn't hurt. After I left, it hurt until I got back to Florida. Then I didn't feel anything, and then it was just a little cut and a red eye. So I would say for healing, maybe a month, maybe a month.
Okay. All right. And you've been through a lot, man, physically
Yeah,
since that fight.
that happens. Exactly. Well, they say fighting is like a car crash every time you fight. So, and I got hit by a car, so I know what it's like, and it does feel the same.
Yeah. I've been hit by a car too as well. I flew in the sky. Like I get
Yeah,
hit and then flew in the sky and
T-bone.
landed. Like,
Yep.
yeah, just
That's how I broke my shoulder.
insane.
I landed on my shoulder.
Let's talk about the upcoming fight, man. March 16th, Natan
Oh
Levy.
yeah.
What do you think about the matchup, man? And he's been out almost as long as you, so it kind of balances out the inactivity.
Oh. Um when it comes to fighting, I never really care who they put in front of me. I mean, like I said, I just fight so I can continue doing what I want to do outside of the cage. I do plan to be more active this year since my surgeries are all done and I'm finally, healthy enough to not have to take a fight to get surgery. So as long as I don't need surgery after this fight, I'm chilling. We'll fight again. I want to do 3 this year. If I can sneak a fourth in, that'd be great. But Levy, good kid. I like everybody talks highly about him. I think he's a great guy. Uh, it's just yeah, fight game. I fought everybody in the world that there's nobody that I'm afraid to fight. I fought Gilbert Burns. I fought Sadiq Yusuf. These two are top five contenders. And I mean Mason Jones, when it comes to striking department, that kid was nasty. And then Vicheslav's a kickboxing world champion multiple times. Like I fought strikers, and I feel like Naton comes off as a striker.
Yeah.
He wins his fights by wrestling, so who knows?
Yeah, it's weird, right? I was gonna ask
He
you about
wins
that
all of
because
his fights by wrestling.
yeah, he's like he's a striker. He's known to be a striker, but he only has submission finishes. He doesn't have any TKO finishes, and he does wrestle a lot. What do you think that says about his approach to his opponents, man?
Um, I don't know. I feel like his opponents more so trained to negate striking. Um, and then because they're so involved in defending striking aspect, they forget that he wrestles. And I mean, I just train. I don't care what you do, or I don't care what your specialty is. I just train the way I always have been, and my skill set is pretty even across the board. So I feel comfortable whatever happens in a fight.
Yeah, it's fair to say that certain fighters they're like labeled as a striker or a grappler or a submission artist or whatever. But for you, yeah, you are a complete like MMA fighter. Like you're good everywhere. Like that's something that I could say
I didn't
confidently.
showcase my wrestling or anything until my last fight, and I didn't even really wrestle a lot of that fight. I just took him down and did a little bit of ground and pound. There's no like skill set there. It just take someone to the floor and punch on them. There's no grappling exchange. There's no jujitsu aspect. It was just
But some guys they go for takedowns, they can't get any. So
ah,
it's like, you know,
that's true.
it says something
I've
about your
taken down
grappling.
every person I've trained or fought, and
Yeah.
the only person that's ever taken me down was Gilbert Burns, ever in a fight ever. So
Mm,
it's interesting.
it is.
I
It is
invite
interesting.
anybody who wants to wrestle. I wrestled for 15 years.
Yeah.
I've trained under Steve Mako. I've trained under uh, JD Robbins. I've got college wrestling, high school wrestling. So I feel good.
And training camp, man, Fusion XL head coach, someone that doesn't get enough love, but I always mention him every time I talk to a guy from Fusion XL. Julian Williams, man, phenomenal coach. What makes that place the best fit for you? Because you've been to a lot of big camps, man. You trained at a lot of big
Yeah.
gyms, and now you're kind of settled there.
Fusion is more friendly oriented. So when I show up to the gym, it's like a homey feeling where I'm not the little fish like I was at ATT. Like you got Dustin, Amanda Nunes, Jorge Masvidal, Gamrot, and then there's me. Like this, they're all champions, top five champion contender, and I'm just me. So you can imagine, like we both walk in at the same time, and who everybody looks at, and who people pay attention to, and I just go do my own thing. And I didn't like it. Up here, it's different because I'm, one of the elites. We have all the UFC fighters here. Um, so when I walk in, it's Mike, where you been? You're 5 minutes late. We're training here. We got this going on. You have these rounds. Blah blah blah. It's a lot more complete of a camp and generally focused on me. So that's why I've been staying here.
That's great to hear. And are there any other spots around town that you go to get extra work or anything like that?
No,
Just
I just
all.
train at Fusion. Yeah. The striking coaches there are pretty amazing. I mean, I don't really train striking whatsoever, but they do have good coaches. Mike Perry's coach, JT, he's the boxing coach. Mike Perry's on an undefeated streak in bare knuckle boxing, and he's our boxing coach. So there's him. There's Scorgi, Muay Thai coach. A lot of lateral movement from him. Manny, a lot of elbows, a lot of knees. Abraham, a lot of clinch work, a lot of clinch work and knees and sweeps. Julian's a fun striker himself. I mean, he doesn't really show it because he's more of a grappling based fighter, but everybody's got their own there. It's a interesting place.
Yeah, a legit coaching staff. You know, some gyms they might have like 3 coaches or something. Like you, it seems like you guys have a pretty solid crew out
Yeah,
there.
I always forget his name. He teaches Hidalgo. Um, I always forget his name though. He's I want to say Taekwondo, maybe. So he's lots of kicks, spinning heel kicks, hook kicks, all that stuff. So I mean, like we literally have every type of striker at the gym. Then when it comes to grappling, we have Rodolfo, who he did just move back to Brazil, but he's been there. We have Julian, Bruno, Macaco, who's Charles Oliveira's coach. Like we have a lot of people. It's really a solid gym, and I know I'm talking, but it is a solid gym.
What are you envisioning for this fight coming up for yourself?
Uh, I've told myself that I'm gonna win this fight. I'm not gonna win it by a decision anymore because someone called me Fight Bananas. Yeah, they called me. And they asked me how I envisioned the fight going and they think it's called for fight of the night and I don't want that. I performance of the night, I'm down to, explore that option, but fight of the night is out the window. And even if it was offered, like I don't want to have a fight go on that long. I want the fight to end in the first round, second round, max. And I don't want either of us to get hurt. I just want us to go in there, do what we got to do, collect the paycheck. Me, collect double. You collect whatever, and then we go on.
And you're 31 years old now. You know, your body's all fixed up, brand new, basically. Do you feel
Yeah.
like you're in your prime, or do you have yet to reach that point of your career?
I don't think I've reached it yet because there's parts of me that are improving, and I feel it. I feel physically the change is happening, so I don't feel like I'm at my prime yet.
All right, man. Damn, I'm always excited to see you perform, man, because you know the
Because
style
all
that you
my
have.
fights are crazy.
Yeah, yeah, true, 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 true. And then, you know, the style that you have, you know, I like the unpredictability of your style as well. You know what I mean?
I
Sometimes,
got you.
you know, you're not expecting the takedown and you throw it in there and then your opponent don't expect it. Next thing you know, they're on their back. You know what I mean? It's I like the mixing of the martial arts that you have. And I'm expecting much more in this one, man. March 16th, fight night in Las Vegas. Mike, thank you so much, man, for
That's a
taking the
good one.
time and all the best in all your ventures, man, in the streaming and in the brand deals and everything, man. I like that you're doing that, you know, for yourself and creating different avenues.
Keeps me busy. That is for sure.